In May 2017, the world faced one of the most devastating and widespread cyber attacks in modern history. The ransomware virus, known as WannaCry, spread like wildfire across the globe, infecting hundreds of thousands of computers in a very short time. Once the virus infiltrated a computer system, it encrypted all of the user's files and demanded a ransom of $300 in Bitcoin, threatening the complete and irreversible destruction of all data stored on the infected devices. Victims were confronted with a chilling message urging them to act fast, pay the ransom within the time limit, or risk losing essential documents, treasured photos, and critical work files forever. The urgency of the message, combined with the fear of losing everything, created a wave of panic among those affected. The damage caused by this global cyber attack was staggering. Within just 24 hours, the total financial losses were estimated to range from 3 to 6 billion euros, a staggering sum that highlighted the enormous scale of the attack. A wide variety of institutions and organizations fell victim to WannaCry, including hospitals, transportation companies, government agencies, and large corporations in over 150 countries around the world. For example, in the United Kingdom, the National Health Service, NHS, found itself in a state of crisis as the attack disrupted access to critical medical records. As a result, hundreds of surgeries and medical appointments had to be canceled, putting patients' health and well-being at risk. Other major organizations, such as the Spanish telecommunications giant Telefónica, the German railway operator Deutsche Bahn, and numerous other large institutions, also became victims of the virus, which brought their IT systems to a complete standstill. The global panic surrounding the attack could have escalated into an even greater disaster, if not for the timely intervention of a young cybersecurity expert, Marcus Hutchins. At just 22 years old, Hutchins was an unassuming and humble individual, living with his parents in the small, quiet town of Frackham, located in the southwest of England. At the time, he worked for a small cybersecurity firm called Cryptos Logic, which specialized in researching botnets and analyzing malware. Most of his work was carried out in the comfort of his home office, surrounded by notebooks and multiple monitors. Hutchins' daily tasks involved monitoring internet traffic, searching for unusual patterns and anomalies in data that could signal the presence of malicious code, and analyzing these threats. It was during one of these routine investigations that he discovered WannaCry. While examining the virus, Marcus made a surprising and crucial discovery. In the code of the malware, he found a suspicious link to a website with an unusual and seemingly random domain name. At first glance, it appeared to be an ordinary link, but something about it caught his attention and raised doubts. Driven by his curiosity and a desire to learn more, Hutchins decided to investigate the domain further. Upon checking it, he discovered that the domain had not yet been registered. This sparked his interest even more, and he made the decision to purchase the domain for a relatively low price of just 9 euros. Little did he know that this seemingly small and inconspicuous step would turn out to be a game changer. The moment Hutchins activated the domain, new infections plummeted almost instantly. It turned out that the website was, in fact, an emergency kill switch that had been embedded into the virus by its creators. This hidden feature was meant to be used in the event that the creators lost control over the malware, and by activating it, Hutchins inadvertently halted the spread of WannaCry. Despite his success in stopping the virus, the challenges that Hutchins faced were far from over. The moment the kill switch was triggered, Marcus's server was bombarded with millions of requests from infected computers all over the globe, overwhelming the system and creating a massive strain on his resources. Alongside his team at Cryptos Logic, Hutchins worked tirelessly to keep the site up and running, all while fending off a relentless wave of cyber attacks. One of the most serious threats came in the form of the Mirai botnet, a vast network of compromised Internet of Things, IoT devices. This botnet attempted to bring down Hutchins' domain using massive distributed denial of service, DDoS attacks, which sought to overload the server and disrupt its operation. In order to protect the site and maintain control over the situation, Hutchins received crucial support from companies such as Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Cloudflare, whose resources helped keep the site online and prevent the botnet attacks from succeeding. Thanks to Hutchins' tireless efforts and the support of his team, the attacks were eventually repelled, and the spread of WannaCry was successfully contained. In the aftermath, Marcus Hutchins was hailed as a hero in the world of cybersecurity. His name became widely known as news outlets across the globe reported on his crucial role in preventing a potentially catastrophic global crisis. Experts in the field of IT security and cybercrime praised his quick thinking and exceptional skills, recognizing his significant contribution to stopping the cyber attack before it could spiral out of control. Hutchins became a sought-after figure in the media, and his interviews appeared in major news outlets, where he was lauded for his expertise and bravery. But just months after his rise to fame, Marcus's world was turned upside down. While attending the prestigious DEF CON conference in Las Vegas, an event that attracts some of the most talented hackers and cybersecurity experts from around the world, Hutchins was arrested by FBI agents. The arrest was based on charges related to the creation and distribution of malicious software, specifically the Kronos banking Trojan. Cybercriminals deployed this Trojan to siphon financial data from thousands of unsuspecting victims. Marcus Hutchins' arrest sent shockwaves through the cybersecurity world. How could the same man who had saved millions from WannaCry now be accused of cybercrime? His past and present were colliding in a way no one had expected. The investigation that followed Marcus Hutchins' arrest revealed crucial details about his past. During his teenage years, long before he became well known in the cybersecurity world, Marcus was actively engaged in hacker forums, where he interacted with other young people who were passionate about programming and creating malicious software. According to him, he did this out of interest to improve his programming skills, not with the intention of committing any crimes. He also admitted that one of his most well-known projects, the malicious software Kronos, which was used for stealing banking data, was written by him. But at that time, he had no intention of using it for criminal purposes. This was part of his desire to learn programming through practical experience. However, the investigation showed that the very fact that the software was sold and used by criminals for illegal profit complicated the situation significantly. During the court proceedings, Marcus found himself in a difficult position. On one hand, he had saved millions of people by stopping the global WannaCry cyber attack, and on the other hand, his previous activities, although driven by curiosity about programming, violated the law. The court's decision was difficult, as it had to balance Marcus's positive contribution to the fight against cybercrime with his past mistakes. Instead of harsh punishment in the form of imprisonment, Marcus accepted part of the charges and acknowledged his guilt, hoping for a lenient sentence. The court also took into account his pivotal role in stopping WannaCry, the numerous letters of support he received from experts worldwide, and the fact that after creating Kronos, he had been actively involved in protecting computer systems from cyber threats. As a result, instead of imprisonment, he was given a suspended sentence and tasked with giving lectures on cybersecurity and explaining the consequences of hacking activities to young people. Marcus Hutchins' story stands as a powerful example of how one person can alter the course of history and prevent global catastrophe. At the same time, it serves as a reminder of the consequences of rash actions in youth and the importance of responsibility in the digital age. Hutchins himself repeatedly spoke about his mistake and the importance of personal choice, emphasizing that although his past was a mistake, he now uses his experience to help others avoid similar errors. His journey from hacker to cybersecurity hero and public speaker became an example of redemption and second chances, which every person is given to correct their mistakes and become better. It is a story not only about fighting cybercrime, but also about willpower, changing perspectives, and the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions in today's world.